Do you feel safe? Do you feel unsafe? Where do you feel unsafe? Where do you feel safer? What's the effect of the last 24 months, 2 years had on your habits, your behaviors, your emotions, your anxieties and your fears? I'd like to know, and I'll explain all about it after this.
Help! Help me! Help me, please!
If you want to help yourself, be yourself, and grow, then look no further, because you're here. Personal Development Unplugged.
Hey, my friend, a very quick 5-minute quickie. And this 5-minute quickie is, well, it's a request, really, because I've got a few thoughts on some longer podcasts, and it's all around feeling safe. Now, I've heard a lot of things in the news and on the internet about one side of not feeling safe, where people feel unsafe in different environments. So maybe it's at college, it's at work, where people are saying things and some people are saying, well, that made me feel unsafe. Your actions made me feel unsafe. And that's one thing I think we could address. It's a little bit, pushing boundaries, I think. But I want to explore that, and I need your help. Because if you feel unsafe, I'd like to know your feelings so I can address them and not just use my imagination. The other bit of feeling unsafe, and I've again seen this in the news, where people over the last, we know it's been 2 years now, due to blooming old COVID, that are now feeling unsafe to go back in the workplace because they've worked from home, or they still feel unsafe going into different environments. I'm still seeing people walking around where I am on the cliff tops by the sea with the wonderful fresh air, and they're still wearing masks by themselves, walking along. I have problems with that, but I know they feel unsafe, and there must be a reason for it. And I think, I know the reason, but I think maybe that behavior now is becoming, restrictive, certainly to them. And certainly if you feel unsafe of leaving your home to go into the workplace, is that feeling of being unsafe still justified, still appropriate? I know the fear is there, the anxiety is there, but is it still appropriate? And if it's not, well, I think we could address that too, to let go of that anxiety, let go of that fear, and become our old confident selves when we used to walk anywhere, do anything, and just generally be ourselves. Because the environment is changing. The seriousness, I guess, or the effect of the latest COVID strains are reducing. And I'm not a doctor, but what I do understand is for the COVID virus to exist, it has to lessen its effect. And by lessening its effect, that means we are no longer in the real dangers that we either were told of or we saw 2 years ago. But those 2 years of solitary confinement, as it were, and these restrictions and impositions have created new patterns of behavior, new habits, as it were, and new anxieties and fears. And again, I'd like to address those. So again, on these two areas of feeling unsafe, I wonder, would you let me know your feelings on that? Or how you feel unsafe? Or what parts of the environment or what things make you feel unsafe? I know one thing would be mine is the way when I listen to the news, and that's all they've been going on about. And it's as if they were like having a feeding frenzy, which was great for the news people, but not great for our emotions and our behaviors. But I'd love to know, as I say, the way you are responding and what you think is triggering that response and how you'd like to feel. And with that information, we can dive deeply in longer episodes of how to let go of the anxiety and fear and come back to, it's going to be a new normal, but let's create the normal that we want for ourselves. So if you could email me your thoughts, your feelings at feedback@personaldevelopmentunplugged.com, then I can start to put together 1 or 2 longer episodes of the podcast. I've got thoughts in mind. So I'm going to go with a lot of those as well. But if there's anything you can add to it, that would be awesome. Let's do this together and, as I say, get back to the confidence we want to have to enjoy the world as we want it and meet people again as we want to meet them in a wonderful way. I hope that made perfect sense. I'm sure it didn't, but if it did, please send me that email. I look forward to hearing from you. They'll all remain anonymous. You'll all get a feedback from me, a response, personal response from me. It's a private email, even though it's to the podcast. It's my private email for this podcast. So, hey, let's get this thing together and start moving out and moving forward and moving into the life that we want to create for ourselves and not be created by others. Okay, so that's what I'm thinking. Have a think yourself, and I look forward to hearing from you real soon. Anyway, enjoy your day.
Warning, you are now leaving the unplugged mind of Paul Clough. It's time to fly on your own. Be brave, my friend.
Personal Development Unplugged.